Hello everybody. Welcome to YSCom Driving, and we are now in a very exciting vehicle. We're now in the Ford Raptor, and we are just trying to stretch its legs a little bit to see how far it will go and what kind of sound it makes. Because okay, we are in sports mode. Now this is a 213 PS monster of a Ford Ranger. It's higher, it's wider, it's sportier, it's got performance parts, and it's more powerful than the standard Ranger. 500 Newton meters of torque. So now with a 10-speed gearbox and pedal shifters, we are now looking for a space to stretch it out a bit. There's some traffic around. Okay, a little bit about the Ford Ranger. This is the Ranger Raptor. It will set you back a little bit over 200,000 if you buy the vehicle. Base vehicle without insurance is 199,888. So you get 112 ringgit back from 200,000. Then you got to add in your insurance, of course, and that depends on how much your no claim discount is, but it'll set you back a few thousand ringgit at least for a year, for every year. And what do you get? You get a very luxurious version of the Ford Ranger, extended fenders, wider stance, raised sport suspension, and then you drive behind this truck and you wait. Okay, here we go. Let's see what it can do. And you can hear the sound. Okay, that's a 10-speed gearbox working. I don't know what gear we are in, but it's just shifting by itself. Yeah, it's got a pair of pedal shifters. I don't think you really need it, because I don't think you can shift as well as the automatic shift can do. So we are tootling along and opening up the throttle. It's flat on the floor. And it shifted up a couple of gears. We slow down a bit. Okay, now the road is open. Again, it's flat on the floor. Well, so much for the power. Not too bad. It's probably the fastest truck I've ever driven. Yes, it is. It's definitely the most powerful with 213 PS. I've driven the Ford Ranger, the XLT Plus, not too long ago, and that one has 180 plus horsepower. This one is 213 from the same engine, but there's some extra stuff put inside, like for example an additional turbocharger. So it's twin turbo, and it gives 213 PS and 500 Newton meter of torque, which is a lot of torque. I shifted down a couple of gears, nothing happened. It's still running on auto. Anyway, we are in the Putrajaya Cyberjaya stretch, and this road is known, at least to me, it's known for its bumpy ride. So the Raptor is on this road, and we're going to see how we feel, whether we can feel all the bumps. Yes, we can. Okay, to give it credit where it's due, this Raptor is built with sports suspension. The shock absorbers and springs have been changed, and these are high performance with higher capacity, so they won't overheat so easily. If you're going on a safari or very, very long drive in the desert, these shockers would serve you very well. Now on the normal roads, on highway drive, they should be okay, because our highways are quite smooth. But for this particular highway, there's a bit of a up and down, and with this type of sports suspension, you will feel it. But surprisingly, it's not as bad as I expected, because it's related to the damping and bound and rebound forces. So if a suspension is sorted out properly, you will have a softer bound and a harder rebound. Rebound is to stop the, once the spring compresses, the shock absorber tries to stop the compression, slow down the compression rate, and then once it's compressed, then the shock absorber has the rebound, which is supposed to slow down the decompression or the extension. Okay, so if you didn't have shock absorbers, what will happen is the springs will just go up and down all the time like that. So the dampers are supposed to hold them back somewhat, and that is what makes the suspension work for you and give you a much better ride. So back to the Raptor. As you can hear, the exhaust has a very sporty mode, and this is all part of the acoustics they put into the car to make you feel sporty. Now, who would buy a car like this, the Raptor? Don't forget, it's a little bit over 200,000 ringgit, and you can buy the base Ranger. They have another workhorse type which is a little bit over 100,000, and then you have the XLT, and that is under 140,000. Yeah. So would you pay the extra 50 to 60,000 more to get a Raptor? Well, a lot of people will balk at the idea of spending 200,000 for a truck. It's a truck, but then again, it's a truck with a difference. Yeah, it's a very nice looking truck. That much I will say. You sit higher, and the truck looks wider. Visual appeal is very good. The color that we have is the gray. It's more black than gray. It doesn't make things stand out, but I think if you put in some stripes and stuff like that, this truck can be really, really fierce looking. Some matte color or something like that. So that with the white stance and the flat fenders and all that, the Raptor really looks very, very fierce. By definition, a Raptor is a bird of prey or beast of prey that preys on smaller animals. So with this Raptor, you are the big boy, man, on the road. So you can prey on the little creatures. Now, people will buy this. Who will buy this? It's people who can. You probably got a very nice car, and maybe you will have a MPV that's big and carry your family, and you drive a Mercedes or a BMW to work, and then on weekends you take your Raptor and you go fishing. And it's basically a fun car, You buy it because you can, and you take it to places where you can be seen, and I think that's about it, lah. You wouldn't buy this to go off-road, okay? I wouldn't mind the engine, of course. I would, if I was going to go off-road, I'd buy a standard Ranger, and I would try my best to get the programming or the engine, because this one runs twin turbo, to get the 213 PS, or that would be fun to have. Well, power, there's never enough power, lah. So the more you put, the more people demand. And if you ask me, is this truck very powerful? Yeah, it's very powerful for a truck, but if you ask me, is there enough power? Actually, no, lah. Many years ago, somebody gave me a John Cooper Works Mini, and then I drove it. It was from Mini, of course. And then after that, the guy asked me, hey, YS, you had fun? I said, yeah. Is there enough power? I said, no. Another 50 horses would be much appreciated. And that was also above 200 horsepower. on a small little Mini. It was powerful. Of course it was powerful. But power corrupts, and people like us, petrol heads, there's never enough power. So, but for a lot of people who drive this, they will be really, really thrilled. And I am actually having a good time with this guy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 213 PS. Nothing wrong at all. So there is plenty of power. Enough is a relative word, depends on the person. But it really drives well, and you can follow anybody. Nobody will leave you behind. The Raptor comes with a full complement of safety features, both passive and active. Passive safety will have things like 6 airbags, 6 of them, and so that makes it really safe if you have a crash. Not that you want to have a crash, but other than ABS, it also has electronic stability control and also traction control. For emergency braking, they have emergency brake assist, and of course there is the usual hill descent control and also hill assist. So this vehicle not only is safe, it's also okay to go off-road. Yes, you can go off-road with this car, although it'll be a bit painful. If I have this car, I tell you, I wouldn't take it off-road, man. A little bit lah, mile one, go durian plantation lah, coconut plantation, yeah, that's okay. But for serious off-road, no lah. Okay, it's too nice a vehicle to spoil. Oh, but don't be mistaken. This is not a soft vehicle. It is tough in every way. The gearbox. A word about the gearbox. There are 10 speeds, 10 of them. Okay, and if you ask me now, what gear are you in? I have no idea, man. Because the transmission and engine talk to each other, and depending on the torque demand and all. You know, if you put your foot on the accelerator, it tells the engine, hey, this guy wants more power, let's shift down a couple of gears, maybe 3. Yeah, and so with 10 speeds to choose from, the ratios are very close to each other. So the system can actually select whichever gear is the best. So the pedal shifts are there. They are there for you to have fun, and they're really big. Yeah, minus on the left and plus on the right. Of course, minus is for you to shift down and plus is for you to shift up. But believe me, I don't think you can shift the pedal shifter better than the automatic gearbox can. So I will say that I will conclude like it's here just for your fun to play with. Well, this is a car you can easily fall in love with. I'm sorry I used the word the car. It's a truck that you can fall in love with, and it's got so much power and so easy to drive. And we are going around the corners. There is a car in front of us. We are just following him peacefully because it's all a double line. But as you can see, the Raptor takes all of these corners with no problem at all, no issues. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about driving the Ranger Raptor at low speed. At low speed, it feels just like any other Ranger. I would say it could even be a bit more comfortable, because the suspension is really firm, but it's not jarring, it's not bumpy. Yeah, it's even the little yellow strips on the road don't affect it so much. So the suspension actually seems to work, and the engine is really quiet. We are still in sport mode, yeah. Okay, in normal mode, the engine is supposed to be less aggressive, and then you see the sound. It sounds just like the normal Ranger, but of course the torque delivery is still 500 Newton meters, yeah. And so that is something you can't take away from this vehicle. And I think when you drive slow, the fuel consumption is not so bad. Now, based on our exuberant driving style, my exuberant driving style, the meter says, this is the readout here, the 4-inch digital readout. It says that I am achieving 13.3 liters per 100 kilometers. Don't fall off your chair. 13.3 liters per 100 for a truck that is 2.3 tons, and having this type of power delivery, I think is pretty reasonable. If you don't like the fuel consumption, go and buy the standard Ranger lah, and you can get something like 7.5 liters per 100, because you're going to drive really steady. I don't know what you can get if you drive this really slow, but you see, what is happening to the meter now is, over the last 1-2 kilometers when we're driving slow, it's already dropping. It was 13.4, then it went to 13.3, now it's 13.2. So if I drive it for long enough, it will drop. So it is definitely consuming less than 13 liters per 100 at this speed. By my rough estimate, like that, I would say it's maybe 8 or 9, and that would be really reasonable. And the reason why you can get such good fuel consumption, folks, is because this is a 2-liter engine, and turbo technology and engine technology is so advanced today that you can actually squeeze 213 PS out of a 2-liter engine. Well, I know of another maker, a gasoline engine, a 2-liter engine, they have managed to squeeze 360 plus horsepower. Now that's a lot of horsepower. This one is a diesel engine, yeah. So there is more to come in the future, I suppose. But at this moment, from a diesel engine, 213 horsepower from a 2-liter is pretty respectable. Okay, I see a bit of a gap, and we are past. No problem at all. Well, the XLT I drove previously was already powerful, and this one with the extra 30 horsepower is really nice.